All right. Yeah. I actually got this from Opie. Um, well, who are these podcasts? They played a clip of Opie talking about someone recognised him. Um, but he brought up the Ron Bennett and Patrice O'Neill interview. I was thinking, oh yeah, we got to do that because we did the Ron Bennett and Norm, and I want to do another Ron Bennett. And I was thinking, yeah, that's perfect. The Patrice one. So yeah, let's go.
Bitch better have my money.
What's up?
All right, Patrice O'Neill sitting in with us tonight.
Is this like the actor's studio for
It
comedy?
is. Here's what it is.
It's
It's
some horse shit. Like
Yeah.
this is,
here.
and they got you, dude. And I'm gonna tell you something really quick.
Yeah.
I like you a lot. Me and Ron we barely speak. Like when we see each other, he'll come in after I do an O&A or whatever or something, and he will, hey. And I like guys like that. You understand? Like, I always want to say, I never got a chance to say, I respect you. I think you're a funny dude, one of the best on the radio. And you're an alpha male. I always respect alpha males. A lot of motherfuckers, they think like women sometimes, where if you don't like me, that means I don't like you, but that's not the case. You understand? Like, I don't know how you feel about me, but I like you a lot. I respect you. I think you're one of the smartest dudes I ever heard in my life. And I'm just saying this because I know we have a weird, even backstage, just kind of, that's our relationship. But,
Right. Well, I like to be paid to make chit chat. I don't.
Actually, that's like if anyone else said that, you'd think that they're just kissing. Although Norm said that too. To be fair, that Norm said that Ron Bennett is funny, but you can kind of tell he is just a naturally funny person. But the fact that Patrice said that, right? Patrice don't say shit like that. I don't think I've ever heard Patrice ever be that complimentary to anybody, ever. Yeah. Let's go.
See any. It's what I do for a living. So I see no reason.
that's how I feel about it, dude.
Yeah, but I feel the same way as you. I mean, you're a hardworking guy. You're always
Comedian.
funny. I see you doing a million different things. Do you ever turn anything down because you'll go into, some firestorm areas? They'll call you out on Fox TV. And
Yeah, anything I mean, I turn a lot of shit down.
Yeah.
But anything that I can sell myself in terms of selling my opinion, because that's the only thing I really got to sell, because this business it's a little white man business, a little Jew guy's business, a gay guy's business, and a woman's business, and they all run. It's almost like when you come up and there's the motherfuckers going to school. If you rode a bus to school, it's the front of the bus and it's the back of the bus. And motherfuckers in the back of the bus torture the people in the front of the bus. You understand?
Sure.
So right now, the front of the bus people run the business. And I'm a back of the bus dude, meaning I fuck with everybody. And the people who were at the front of the bus, and I got to go in and go, hey, look, I got these ideas. And they go, yeah, I remember when you smacked me in the back of the head. Remember when you was talking about my mother. And it was all in due fun, like, because I attack myself. I just like to laugh, right? So right now, in this game, I'm trying to find people in the middle of the bus that didn't want to quite commit to being a fucked up person and didn't want to commit to being a cornball, kind of bring us together. That's the business, you know?
Yeah.
And essentially, when you say, do I turn shit down? I turn a lot of things down. I turn down that stupid Celebrity Fit Club, where I'm going, like, to be honest, my career is more important than my health to me. So they're saying you gotta be not only you have to be a fat has-been. And I never even was yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like noted. That was an unexpected question instead of saying no. What I say yes to is things like Fox, because it's just, first of all, I think black people, we need some kind of agenda beyond just being angry every time a white guy says some shit that's supposed to hurt our feelings. I think we came further than that. So it's a chance. It's a chance for me to do that Fox thing. That Fox thing fucks me up because I got a lot of you a sellout emails. Oh,
Really?
you fucking sellout motherfucker. You saying shit, white guys and shit. Because it looked like I was just defending middle-aged white men every week for saying shit.
Right.
But the reason I was on there defending speech is because, for real, black people own speech right now. We own it. That's our reparation. You know, it's an unwritten thing that we can say what the fuck we want, and white guys can't say what the fuck they want. And our biggest ally in terms of black folks moving ahead is that white guilt. White guilt is a big-time ally. White people going, I feel so bad for slavery, even though you're originally from Poland or something, you had nothing to do with slavery, but you feel that white guilt that comes along with it? Good. So I can say what the fuck I feel like saying.
I think that's been true for a very long time, what Patrice is saying, but I think that's changing now. Because there was compilations where it's like a black person saying something and then a white person saying basically the same thing, just reversed. And one person's account got deleted and the other one's didn't. It's like, it's been like that for a while, but I've noticed there's a change. Like because you know what I mean? I'm aware of YouTube. Obviously, I do YouTube, but like I'm aware of things that's going to flag up and whatever. But I've noticed more and more recently, I've seen titles of videos of things where I'm thinking, wow, how did you get away with that? Like, my videos are always on just, well, like such scrutiny for basically nothing. Like, nothing. The last one I got in trouble for was spreading medical misinformation when the video literally had nothing to do with it, and it was like they highlighted a 1 second little bit of nothing basically. But yeah, I've noticed some videos, and I've also seen in the comments, if you click on comments to videos, the like the white people are definitely like, yeah, saying shit and getting away with it, seeming to be able to get away with it more than they were. 100%. Like, I see titles of videos sometimes, I think, Jesus. Like, if I put that title on a video, it'd get removed. Like, and I think because I do Opie and Anthony, like, my scrutiny come from Opie and Anthony. Once I started doing Opie and Anthony, then it was like all of my videos needed to be reviewed. And then it takes them ages to review them, and then they go, yeah, it's fine. But I see titles of videos now where it's like a white guy going, bloody immigrant scum or something like that. And I'm like, how are you getting away with putting that in your... Like, so yeah, I do think that whole dynamic is changing now.
And you stuck. And I just want to say to black folks, shut the fuck up till we get our shit together. Because we got too many hypocrites that on our end. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want somebody to throw something. If I say you a piece of shit, and then somebody says to me, well, what about when you go to Brazil and fuck hookers sometime? I'm gonna go, well, that's not, I don't want to go, well, that's a different piece of shit.
This is nothing like Actor Studio. I can't see this ever getting on TV of any kind. I was sitting here listening. I can't even think that porno channels would want to play this at all.
Yeah. But that's why it's like somebody asked me in the back, you're not on O&A as much anymore. I'm not done yet in terms of being offensive, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think O&A, and I'm not saying they're done in terms of being offensive, but they're tired of fighting. You know what I mean? They're becoming generals, and you know, soldiers fight. And I think they went through the soldier phase, and now they're generals, man, and they don't feel like boxing the powers that be right now. And I think that I don't want to go in there and do a goofy thing and go in there and be how I am, which is completely unedited racist, unedited sexist, unedited piece of garbage, man, till I'm done. And I'm not done yet. So, you know, if I'm not on there because of that, I understand. I wouldn't have me on there. Like, they pulled off the...
Do you reckon Patrice was looking down on Anthony when Anthony went through all his shit, decided to start his own thing, put it behind a paywall, had people on, and the whole point of it was that people can say whatever they want? It was like the only network for a while that you could say whatever you wanted and there was no repercussions for it. Yeah, if only Patrice lived a bit longer, he would have seen that Anthony's fight hadn't even begun yet, really.
Philip thing I do on XM where my whole show is just talking about women and how women, we don't like them, and I don't like them. They had to yank me off. I'm not upset about that, but I'm not finished yet, offending people,
Why is that, Patrice? What is it that you're trying to do here? What are you?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What are you trying to do with this?
It ain't make money, because I'm stuck. One thing I learned about this game early is it's a lonely game. It's a lonely journey. It's really hard. Like my mother didn't support me. She supports me now, but it's one of them things. It's like, this shit is a dream. And you ever try to, dreams are something you do by yourself. You ever have a dream and then try to tell somebody the dream you had? You wake up and be like, hey, here's what I was dreaming. And they be like, really, really? So unicorns, and then what happened? That's the same thing as saying, I want to do something besides be what's already planned out. Plumber, doctor, lawyer, dentist. There's a plan. This thing here is like a leap of faith, and you just keep falling. Now, to answer your question, what I'm trying to do is be righteous. And when I say righteous, I don't mean God, God righteous. I mean, just when I wake up, I know I was honest to myself. You know what I mean? And I did the whole tap dance, dude. People be like, why do you play ball? I did it. I tap danced like you wouldn't believe. Aspen 1998. I mean fucking like hot shoes trying to get something. What does it means to an end? Yeah. I was trying to get something. And I went to LA and I was sitting there. I was like 100 pounds bigger than I am now, dude. And I was sitting, and my stomach is like fucking sitting out here. And I had 2 Whoppers with cheese because they were 99 cents, dude. And that's all I could afford to eat every day was a Whopper cheese. It was just sitting on my stomach. And if I had a gun, dude, I'm telling you, I'd have shot myself. I understand suicide.
Because you couldn't do the act the way you wanted to.
Because I was trying to.
And actually, listening to Patrice now, because everybody always says Jim Norton should have gone to Compound Media and whatever, but actually thinking about it now, Patrice was made for Compound Media and Anthony's network. The Patrice and Anthony show, or just the Patrice show, or both. Like, literally, what Anthony went on to make is what Patrice is talking about. Somewhere that he could absolutely say whatever he wanted, and there's no real repercussions for it.
Get something from what I do. And I argue with a good friend of mine, Dante. He does a show with me. Because the whole show and the business thing, I'm in complete disagreement with that. It's just that, I'm lucky enough to be able to get some money out of this shit, out of this, what I do. But it's big, man. Comedy is big. What it is being political and having, because I more want to be a cult figure. I want to make some money, but I felt the feeling of trying to make it, and that vague make it, that emptiness of, I made it. What's it? You know what I'm saying? So I just do it because when a guy says to me, dude, man, you changed my life, that feels good. If a dude says you changed my life, or a woman says you changed my life for some goofy shit you did, that means something. That's it. I want to change lives, but not be profound about it. That's why I think Richard Pryor was who he was, and I think George Carlin's who he is. And I put them 1 and 2 because I think they both have a righteousness. Because George Carlin's story is heavy, man. He was already a millionaire. And Richard Pryor was already a millionaire. And they just had some, this is wrong. This sucks. Even though they got the millions, but they went down. I mean, their lifestyle went down.
On this journey that you're on, okay, you're not getting the same response as a guy who's an actor. For some reason, they see a stand-up comedian, here's a guy jacking around or whatever, and you're going in a different direction than maybe even your own audience sees.
Right. It's tough, dude. It's tough because I get a lot of, one of my biggest fan base. It's weird. I've done every genre, you know, a little bit. I think I got a little bit of fans everywhere. And like O&A is one of the biggest parts of my fan base, that core. And then the Web Junk was a big core. And then my HBO special was a big core. So when they collide in a show, it's interesting.
Right.
And I have to kind of mold them into exactly who I am, even though I get the outlet from here. I mean, I'm sure you're different from Ron on Ron and Fez a little bit.
Right.
Like if somebody met you and whatever the catchphrase of the week is, whatever the thing you're doing, and somebody goes, "Oh, Ron," and you go, "Calm down for a second, and let me talk to you."
Right.
And you go, "You're still the same Ron, but you're just not Ron."
Right.
You just have to calm down.
Right.
And that's what, you know, I kind of try to, you know, collect my. It's almost like drugs, dude. Look, it is. It's.
You're talking to the right guy now.
I'm trying.
Now I'm with you. Now I got you 100%.
I don't mind boutique sales. Like, I don't mind that boutique shit. I can't go out and go, here, buy my CD. And I mean, if you want to find it, I want to make it available. I'm not an asshole, an idiot, but I don't want to go, here's some more. Give me. All I want you to do is just sit there and absorb what I'm trying to do. It's like, but the thing about drugs, what I mean, is like, it's like if I got some really good coke, you know, I don't need every scumbag everywhere to come try to buy my coke. I have a very boutique.
Right.
I don't mind.
It's a lot of good people.
I don't mind having a boutique audience. I don't mind 100,000 fans that would pay $100 out of their life to fuck with me in any way. That's 10 million, maybe. I don't know. I don't do math, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
If I just don't let those 100,000 down, I don't need 1 million strangers in my life.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting.
What he said as well, that's a bit like what Corey Holcomb says, because obviously Corey Holcomb is arguably way more offensive than Patrice, and that's saying something. But he says the same thing. I don't need everybody in the world. I just need people that like what I do. Like, and as long as you have enough people, it's like you don't need to be any bigger than that. And the freedom of saying what you want, and that people aren't gonna lose their shit, is way more valuable than, basically being molded into something you're actually not. But this is as well why the left needs the right and the right needs the left. Because what Patrice is describing is a left wing, not to make it political, but it is. It's like it's a very left wing side of things where there's no like the salesperson isn't there. You like Patrice needs a more conservative person who's in charge of his business side of things. It's like I say, you see it with the Bob Dylan. Like, do you think Bob Dylan was really like? There's a thing between the BBC and Bob Dylan's manager, and I think the manager's saying you can have him come play a song on the BBC for $5,000. And he's like, well, we can. The BBC man's saying, oh, well, we can give you 3. And then he's like, I can get 5 anywhere. You either take him for $5,000 or you don't have him. Now, do you think Bob Dylan's going to sit there and say, oh, no, I really want that extra $2,000? What difference does it make to him to go and play a song? Like, it's not, and that's what Patrice needed. But then also, like I say, like Corey Holcomb said, you don't need everybody in the world. You just need a good group and just, pray to the people that like you. Yeah.
That you said that because it wasn't too long ago. I was reading an interview with Ricky Gervais, who I think genius. I think he's brilliant. He's a guy who started The Office in England, then he did extras, and they were asking him about doing comedy in America, New York, and he only mentioned one name of comedians that he admires, and that's Patrice O'Neal. And this guy is probably the hottest European comedian.
He's big. I mean, The Office, he's big.
And, I mean, particularly in England, they're standing in line. So people that I would say are funny, and, you know, I'll throw it in with the O&A, too, who I think brilliant minds.
Yeah.
But the people that I tend to think are funny are fans of yours. And so maybe you are chasing that.
Well, I think they feel that it's not again, saying something's not pretentious is almost pretentious. Saying
Right.
that I'm not trying to be this is being
Right.
that. But I fight hard to not have an editing system. I try to fight hard. Like, Ricky Gervais probably got to know me from my time of going to England, because it was a time where I got essentially thrown out of America, wasn't making money. Club owners, like the dude that owns Arizona Improv, he tries. See, a lot of things in this game is weird. Is they try to give you golden handcuffs all the time, and golden handcuffs is when, like, if you're out of control, somebody just gives you something to control you. So you got nothing, they give you 5 G's, give you something, make you scared of losing 5 G's, and then that's how they beat you into being a slave. So I had a lot of that in terms of getting treated like that in clubs. Like, hey, man, we're going to give you this, but you're going to have to spin in a circle and do this on top of your head and spin it. Nah, nope, ain't good. So I had to go to England. And England, man, those cocksuckers over there, they are, dude, because they don't understand that we meaning American comedy, and our thought process is 15 years ahead of them. And I'm serious, and I appreciate Gervais saying, because he's well loved.
Yeah.
But when I went over there, I would fight, because they would go, you people, you don't understand irony. And irony to them, irony to us is a shark. When Quint gets eaten by the shark, I guess that's irony. Shark Hunter gets eaten by a shark, whatever. Probably a better example.
Sure,
but
no, I was working for. You're on your way to a point. I love it. Yeah.
So I know my mind is like, just getting eaten away. I got to get famous soon, just so I can cash in on what's left of my brain. But the irony, what they think is irony in England, is sarcasm. Like, oh really? So you did that, huh? Oh, that's irony to them. So I go, that's not irony to us. Irony is different. That's sarcasm, and we get sarcasm here. We just don't think it's the basis of your entire hour on stage, genius.
I have to say I agree. Although, Patrice, you can't get into who's right and wrong about irony and sarcasm because you lot speak in English. But no, what he's saying about the actual comedy, now it's a bit different. You got Mickey Flanagan and Ricky Gervais but there's a difference in the UK comedy up until very recently is very, like Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr is a perfect example. He's not really, it's kind of jokes that anybody can say, if that makes sense. Like, anyone can say the joke and be funny. You don't need to have a good, like, it's just the writing of the joke is the thing. Whereas with the Americans, I think the Americans introduced the more storytelling side, and the fact that, like, you can take people on you can get more out of a comedy audience than just do you know what I mean? Punchline, like, set up, punchline, set up, punchline, set up, punch, like, yeah. But yeah. What he said about irony is what we think of is irony now. I don't know where he's getting that we think sarcasm is irony. Because, what he kind of said there. Or, like, who's the Irish comedian that's got that bit about Alanis Morissette? Isn't it ironic? But nothing in the song is. It's like rain on your wedding day. Isn't it ironic? He's like, that's not ironic, that's just bad planning. He's like, that's only ironic if it rains on your wedding day and you're marrying a weatherman. He's like, that's ironic. Like, but he is right about UK comedy. I think, like I say, now it's a bit different. You've got your, like I'd say, Mickey Flanagan is much more that more American, which actually makes sense because he probably around the time Patrice was here, Mickey Flanagan was there, so he probably got to see firsthand like what the Americans was doing. But definitely when Patrice come around, like, the UK. Pretty much in the UK, it never got past what the America, like the Rodney Dangerfield. Even Rodney Dangerfield, to be fair, is different because he's kind of telling you stories. Anyway.
I went over there and it was a lot of blah, 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 blah. And I go, look, man, first of all, have you ever been to New York doing comedy? No, I have not. Okay, then I've come over to your shitty country for free and show you, and I'm putting myself out there with an anti-American sentiment. That's racism over there, is America. And it's racist against Americans, dude. They like, yank. And I'm like, whoa, I had to get used to that from the comics. And then, but it took about 5 months of going back and forth and staying in shitty places to like, for them to go, oh, okay, all right, this guy is not playing around. And I think, I never met him, but I think Ricky might have saw me in those times where I fought through English audiences throwing, it was like, you know, the scene in Blues Brothers?
Yeah.
That's how they act. And so you gotta fight them, and then they love you beyond belief. And then after that, but then again, to me, comedically, you can't make it if you're not making it here. I got a call from Showtime to do a special, and I was like, bye, England, that was it.
Right, that's it.
I don't care how much you could make, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were making good money over there, but you prefer...
Ridiculous. I would have been making money. I wish my career was bottoming out now to go over there, because it's 2-to-1 with the money.
Wow.
before it was like a dollar to $1.30 to $1. Now it's 2 straight up 2. I probably would have not came back like Rich Hall. Rich Hall's a zillionaire.
He's still over there, right?
He's famous.
Yeah, Rich
and
Hall's a legend here.
And everything else in England, everything else. He's big. And if I'd have stayed there, this was 6 years ago when I stopped going. People still remember me from that. I'm very proud. I'll brag about how proud I am of certain things in my career, and about maybe 5 things. One of them is going over to England and getting respect as a comic. I love respect, man.
Well, give me some of the other things that you're proud of.
HBO special, but didn't get what that was one of those things I had to fight from being disappointed, just because it was the same kind of feeling I felt back in '98 when I was like, boy, I could really think about killing myself right now. This sucks, and it's not like I was suicidal. It was just, you know, man, do I feel like going through this?
Right.
And HBO, man, because I think I put out what I wanted to. So it almost like that, when that HBO special kind of fell dead or duddish, I got that same disappointment because I was like, man, I thought I gave.
What didn't work for it? I mean, you didn't get the bounce off of it?
I didn't get it. Because what's funny in my career, and this is another thing about this business, there is no market value. You don't get value for who you are. And that's what kills comics. When you see bitter comics, it's because if Michael Jordan scores 30 and Kevin Garnett scores 31, right? And Michael Jordan gets $20 million a year, Kevin Garnett can ask for $20 million a year based on the fact that he scores 31. So I have value compared to my peers and everything else. But this, it's like I gotta watch unnamed assholes making mega money, and there's no karma, there's no there's no one to complain to. I can't walk in the office and go, listen, this hack bought his mother a house, and I gotta stand there and look at this dude. And a lot of dudes and people I never got along with are people that let this business qualify who they are. I'm at this level, Patrice, so I can now, like, when I was here, I didn't talk to you, but now Comedy Central has put me here. Now I'm here with you. No, you're not. I don't care if God...
That's funny, because then Joe DeRosa got a bit where he said Patrice rung him one day and just said, I shouldn't be as accessible to you. You're not on my level. Yeah. This has been a great interview as well. But it is funny hearing him talk, and like I can only imagine that Patrice would have been proud of Anthony, and Anthony kind of. I mean, Anthony really fought against all odds to the point he's back on radio now, which is crazy. Yeah, you gotta give it to Anthony. He really was like in the mud, kind of going out into unknown territory. And but like I say, imagine if Anthony had Patrice to jump on board that company as well. It would have been huge. But yeah, that's part one. Sweet.